So let's talk about your fathers. How do they contribute to your confidence, right? So, we just had Father's Day. So, this is the perfect time for reflection as we think about the men in our lives, our fathers, our grandparents, our uncles, and the experiences that we've had with them, especially as women of color, especially as Black girls. Oftentimes, we have voids within ourselves, and that's not everyone's experiences, but I'm talking to those women who can connect or relate to that because oftentimes, the way that we're raised, right, the way in which we interact with those men, they help us to determine our worth. They help us to determine, what we truly believe about ourselves, whether we think we're good enough, how we choose to date, how we choose to interact with other people, how we choose to be at work, whether we're seen and heard, and whether we feel like we're protected or we're even worthy enough of being provided for. So there are three things I want you to keep in mind as you continue on this journey. If you feel as though you have a void within yourself still and you need to heal what we call your father wound, right? It's a wound that you have been carrying for a very long time, and it's something you probably haven't really sat down and processed and healed and handled just yet. So the first thing you want to do on this journey is I want you to release the old version that you have of yourself that you have of your dad, right? And when I say that, I mean I want you to think about the fact that your dad can only meet you as deeply as he's met himself. So your dad is only as evolved and healed as he allowed himself to be as a man. So stepping away from him being a dad, looking at him as just a man, depending on his upbringing, depending on what he learned from his own parents and from his community, his environment, based on his culture, and how even racism could have played into that. And we're not excusing his behavior, but we simply want to take the time to practice forgiveness, not for him, but for you, right? We want to take the time to release from ourselves, this idea or perception we already have of him. And the second thing I want you to do is I want you to restore. When I say restore, I want you to shift what that story is that you've been telling yourself about yourself. Like, I'm a daddyless daughter. My dad doesn't care about me. I'm abandoned. I'm rejected, right? You're a grown ass woman at this point. So it's not your fault, the things that he may or may not have done, but it is your responsibility for you to heal, because I want you to have an amazing relationship. I want you to not have to have and carry certain wounds or have certain walls up that may have been contributed from your father or from that upbringing. So I want you to shift the story and the narrative. What is it that you tell yourself about you and your relationship with your father when no one else is around? Because unconsciously it's playing out in all different areas of your life. So I want you to examine that. And then the third thing I want you to do is I want you to learn how to reparent yourself. And you have to do that sometimes and create an inner mother within yourself and an inner father within yourself that is your protector and provider.